Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we are checking out some beautiful knives that are in for sharpening. Starting this off with the Sharp by Designs Mini Typhoon. Now, first off, I want to thank the people that use my sharpening service because these are in for sharpening. So thank you to the people that do use my sharpening service. And if anybody's interested, I link everything, or I link my contact information down at the bottom of the description. You can contact me through Instagram or through email if you are wanting to use my sharpening service. These were just recently available. They are sold out now. This one was about $4.25. They came in a couple different versions. Now, the thing is I actually have this exact version on the way, and I'm possibly going to be buying it, especially after trying this one. It's so good. It's so good. So we have a titanium frame lock. Oh yeah, let me back up. Brian Nadeau. So Brian Nadeau, in my opinion, is possibly the best USA custom knife maker ever. Like he's at this point, he's probably the best. If you had to do a rating, he would probably be number one on the list. Now, this is done by Riat. So this is not a custom by Brian Nadeau. It's an OEM work with his design by Riat. So, in Riat, we already know they do such amazing work. We have a hand set and drop point blade. Titanium frame lock. I love the 6-gun pivot. Then we have a marbled carbon fiber with little hints of blue in it that's inlaid into the titanium, and it is seamless. It is so good. Both sides. Then something that's special about Brian Nadeau's knives is he uses a detent nub instead of a regular detent ball. So if you look inside here, instead of there being a detent ball, there's a detent nub, which gives you incredible consistency with a detent. It's very satisfying to flick. It makes it where the detent feels so perfect. It's like the perfect detent you could ever ask for, and it's so consistent. And then another thing, when you unlock it, you never fumble with the detent because there's no detent ball. So as soon as you unlock it, it's already up on the lock bar. So you never hit the detent and sit there and rattle around right there. You never do that. It's always past it, even if you do it really early. Now, the reverse flick is really good on this. They don't give you a lot of access, but it works perfect. Works perfect. The ergos are really nice in the hand. The jimping is done. This is really good jimping, even though I normally prefer to go up and around. And we're going to look at another knife here in a second that is done the exact way I like. But this is done so well that it doesn't. I wouldn't complain. Put it that way. I wouldn't complain. Such a beautiful knife. It's so well done. It's not an integral. There is a seam there. It's just very hard to see. But there is a seam there, so it is 2 pieces. And yeah, this is just so good. Now this one has not really a chip tip, but he dinged at the tip a little bit, so I'm gonna clean that up and put a nice, beautiful, screaming sharp edge on it. And Riat usually does a good job with their heat treat. Next, we have, now, the next ones, these are somebody else's. So this was sent in by one individual. Thank you for using my sharpening service. I do appreciate you guys using my sharpening service. Now, this knife, or the next knives, are from another person. We have the BBK Jaeger. I've never tried a Jaeger, so I was really excited to see this. The sound and acoustics of this is just amazing. Listen to the sound of this. It sounds so good. I love the acoustics. And then look at how thin of a grind this hollow grind has. Look at how thin that gets. It gets so thin. It's crazy how thin that gets. It's a nice deep hollow grind. And it's kind of a 3.5 finger knife, but you have this spot right there, and the flipper tab's kind of minimal, so I can go right over the flipper tab and I'm still comfortable. So this is comfortable for me. Great pinch grips, access to the lock bar is good, nice and smooth on the drop. Obviously you can see there's great access to the reverse flick. I believe even left-handed you could do it. Oh yeah, easily. Titanium milled pocket clip, full back spacer that's crowned, a crowned back spacer. The jimping on the flipper tab is done really well because it's kind of a minimal flipper tab, but the way it's designed makes it to where you do a light switch rather than a push button, but it works so good. The detent is perfection on this. The micarta is bumped up a little bit on both sides. Yeah, this is very nice. I think this is M390. I do have to double check. I'm not positive on the steel, but very, very nice. That is gorgeous. Next, we actually had one of these recently in. This is the Peña Mula, and this is in for a mirror edge. The other one we had in was a brown micarta. This one's a black micarta. And this is another one that's done by Riet. So the little fine details that Riet gets done, and the detents are so perfect. This has a clean detent. It's so perfect. Even the thumb studs, perfection. I can slow roll it. I can reverse flick it. All of them are equally satisfying. And then the front flipper, this is the kind of jimping I love. I love this kind of jimping. It goes up and all the way around, just the way I like it. So it's super easy to flip. It makes the jimping grip you back, which I really do like. Now it has a copper back spacer, titanium milled pocket clip. Very comfortable in the hand. It has a little bit of a thicker geometry, but nothing that I would really complain about. It's just not super thin. But we're going to get a beautiful mirror polished on here, so it's going to look beautiful with a nice, good size edge on it. The one complaint I have is that the plunge grind does go right to the edge, so we're going to see how that goes. I still need to sharpen the other one, but I think I'll be able to do it right. I can either put a small edge on it or just barely have a smile. I think I can possibly get past it, though. Either way, I'm going to do my best to not make a smile. Love the satin finish. Gorgeous finish. The hardware, and it's all the little details that mix up into just perfection. The hardware is done extremely well. The fit and finish and all the parts, the little fine details, like the jimping right here. That makes this access to the lock bar even better than it would be if it wasn't there. The thumb studs. I love these thumb studs. Come on, focus, camera. These thumb studs are so good. Let me just zoom into them. Oh, man. They work perfect. So, yeah, I love this. Now, let's check out the last one. The last one actually is a TRM Neutron. Now, I have a TRM Atom right here. I've actually given one of these away before, but you can see the size difference. It is a lot smaller than the Atom. Both in 20 CV, USA made. This one has the band around the thumb stud, which basically just makes the thumb stud a little bit more comfortable. The reverse flick is also really good on these. They are washer action, so they're not on bearings, but they are frictionless smooth. I mean, very smooth. Nice and glassy. This one has a little bit of a squeak. I might have to possibly put some grease on it, but even though it's still so smooth. I mean, for washer action, look at that. For washer action, that's great. And it's such a compact, little, small knife, very slim in the hand. I'm not sure what this material is. I think it's multicolored micarta. very comfortable in the hand for how slim it is, but I remember that this isn't a hard use knife. This is a light duty EDC knife that has a long lasting edge, and that's the point of it. So awesome, awesome knife. I love it. So there you guys go. Just a quick look at these knives. Thank you again to the people that send knives in for sharpening. I do appreciate people using my sharpening service. It does help the channel out. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.